Welcome to the course C410 Generic Inquiry Screen Configuration Level 1. This course is intended to be for business consultants that are not necessarily technical people, but could configure simple generic inquiries for their customers. Also, you do not need to be fully knowledgeable on the data access classes or fully understand how to establish database table relations, since we will work from a single database table. Now, let's navigate to the Generic Inquiry screen under System, Customization, Manage, Generic Inquiry. This is the screen we will be using to create a generic inquiry. I will be using a pre-configured inquiry screen for your first walkthrough. Before I explain all the features of this screen, I created this generic inquiry displaying my customer invoices. If I click the View Inquiry button, it will display the results set of data generated from my inquiry screen. In order to understand how to build an inquiry, let's first understand what results we're trying to get to. We're trying to display my customer invoices summary information. If I look at the information of one single row and click the reference number hyperlink, it will open the Invoices and Memos screen with my invoice information as I'm used to look at it. Let's compare the two. On the left side, I have my Invoices and Memos screen, and on the right side, I have my Generic Inquiry Result grid. As I'm showing here, I created a generic inquiry that pulls my customer invoice fields from the summary section. I also added two fields that are not displayed on the Invoices and Memo screen, but information that we keep in the software tables, like the created by and the created date time information, as those two are usually very useful. There is also a lot of information that is not necessarily displayed on the screen, but that you can add to a generic inquiry. Okay, now that we understand what we're trying to accomplish, let me show you how to do it. Our first example will be quite simple. Let's come back to my generic inquiry screen. In the summary section of the screen, I give my inquiry a title. This is the title that will be used at the top of the grid that will display the results. The Select Top X record field is the maximum number of records to be displayed in the result grid. The Arrange Parameters in X column field is relevant when inserting some parameters to your inquiry screen. We will review this in the next video. The results on page allow you to insert how many records you want to display per page. If the numbered pager checkbox is selected, then the system will automatically display your results and number your pages. For example, I will insert 10 in my results on page field and select my numbered pager checkbox and save. I will click my View Inquiry button. I can see that my result grid only displays 10 rows at a time and that my pages are numbered. My sitemap location field allows me to select from the magnifying glass the location where I would like to add this inquiry screen in my software sitemap. Since this is a customer invoices inquiry screen, I will insert this screen under Accounts Receivable, Work Area, Explore. This is where all the other Accounts Receivable inquiry screens are located, therefore I'll be consistent and insert it there too. Your sitemap title field will by default take your inquiry title. You can change it if you want. That's the name that will be showing on your sitemap menu. I will save my changes. Let's navigate to my Accounts Receivable to see my inquiry screen. You can see here my inquiry sitemap title, and here my inquiry title. Let's go back to my generic inquiry screen. Even if you added your inquiry screen to your sitemap, users won't have access to this inquiry screen until you give proper access right to your user roles. Although this is not a user security course, just navigate with me to the access rights by screen form. If I select my new inquiry screen by default, all my user roles have the access right not set. That means that none of my user roles have access to my new inquiry screen. You will need to define the access right for your new screen. If you need more information on user security and role-based functionality, please take the course S110 Security Management. Back to our generic inquiry screen. In order to show you how to create the generic inquiry we have been looking at, let's create a new one from scratch. I will click the plus button and quickly fill the summary section, as you already know the purpose of each field. The first tab is the Tables tab. It's from the table name field that you will be able to search your desired table. The way I approach the problem when I'm searching for some information is I type in the search box what I'm looking for. I'm looking for my AR invoices, therefore I type AR space invoice in my search box. And then I evaluate my choices. By looking at the table name, the name, and the display name, I will try the AR invoices table, as this is the one that seems to be the most appropriate one for my requirements. I can give it an alias name. If no alias is specified, the name specified in the table name field is used. Since this is my first example and we want to keep it as simple as possible, I will skip some tabs and go directly to my Results Grid tab. The Results Grid tab allows you to specify how the results of the search in the database tables should be displayed. For example, I can add a row, select my object, which is my table alias name, or the table name if I didn't specify an alias. Then, the Data field allows you to select any desired fields from that table. All the available fields are in alphabetical order in the drop-down menu. If I'm not sure this is the correct table, I can easily select all the fields of this table by choosing the All Fields value and save. That will automatically add all the available fields into your result grid, allowing you to view the results of your inquiry by clicking the View Inquiry button. After evaluating the results data and realizing this table contains the information I'm looking for, I can remove the fields I don't want by clicking the Delete button. Or I can change the order of the fields by selecting the desired row and by clicking the Move Row Up button or the Move Row Down button, reordering my fields as desired. Let's pretend I reorganize my result grid as wanted, displaying only my desired fields in the desired order. The Data field column can display the field of the table or the formula that includes fields and constants. You can invoke the formula editor by clicking the pencil icon. In this course, we will not create any formula. Therefore, the Data field only contains the field name of the table. The Schema field column indicates the schema field to be used as the source of properties for this field. If I have a formula in my data field, then it is mandatory to specify the source field to be used. But since my data field only contains my field name, it is not mandatory for me to fill the schema field column. The caption column allows you to rename a column using your own words. For example, if I want my tax total column to be named sales tax, I can enter my name in the caption column and save. When displaying my results, my tax total column will have sales tax as my column header. The aggregate function column is used to aggregate data in an inquiry screen. We will review such feature in the next videos. For now, let's ignore that column. The width column allows you to specify the width of the grid column in pixels. If the visible checkbox is selected, the field will appear in the result grid. If the checkbox is cleared, the field will be hidden by default, but can be added to the grid by a user. The Suppress Navigation checkbox will remove the navigation hyperlink to the users. Remember that my reference number field was an hyperlink that would automatically navigate me to my invoices and memo screen. By checking the Suppress Navigation checkbox, the result grid removed that available hyperlink for that field. And lastly, my active checkbox indicates that the row is active and will be used in selecting the results. Now that I have learned how to create a simple generic inquiry screen, please proceed to the hands-on exercises.